There's no doubt that Yamaha's going after KTM with the new YZ65. In amateur racing, the 65 class is dominated by KTMs, with just a smattering of Husky TC65s and even fewer Cobra 65s. The Kawasaki KX65 is aimed at play riders and true beginners. So when it comes to racing, the Yamaha's target is clearly the KTM. When you put the Yamaha and the KTM side by side, it's striking how similar the two bikes are in size and features. They have the same wheelbase at 45 inches, the same fuel capacity at 0.9 gallons, and both have 6-speed gearboxes with nearly identical overall gear ratios. There are a handful of technical differences that are worth noting. Most obvious of these is the motor layout. The Yamaha motor is designed conventionally with a gearbox behind the crankshaft. The KTM is stacked vertically with the crank directly above the main shaft and countershaft. This makes for a taller engine vertically, but one that's shorter from front to rear. Both motors have power valves, but the KTM's is operated by engine vacuum, whereas the Yamaha is driven by a mechanical ball ramp mechanism that opens at a more precise RPM. The clutch on the Yamaha, on the other hand, is cable operated, whereas the KTM is hydraulic, with a Formula master cylinder. Formula also makes the brakes for the KTM, while the Yamahas are Nissan. Both bikes have rear shocks that are connected directly to their swing arm without linkage, but have very different fork setups. The KTM has a WP AER 35 air fork with adjustable rebound damping. The Yamaha has a coil spring KYB with adjustable compression and rebound. Yamaha aimed the YZ65 directly at the KTM 65 SX. On the track, the two bikes have nearly identical performance. They both are amazingly powerful. In our roll-on acceleration test, we found that the KTM might have a slight advantage in peak power. In mid-range power, they are the same. The Yamaha has a much larger carburetor, a 28mm Kian, as opposed to the KTM's 24mm Mikuni, and the motor will hesitate if the throttle is open too quickly at low RPM. We did not experience this with the KTM. Our test riders felt the Yamaha was slightly larger. The YZ65 has the same seat height, but is a little wider and about 10 pounds heavier. The Yamaha also has slower steering geometry. The test riders felt that the KTM's overall handling was a little nervous, whereas the YZ was very stable. In the end, the track performance of the two bikes is so similar that you really shouldn't make the decision based on that alone. Yamaha did an excellent job of hitting the target. If the bike was any faster, it might have alienated beginners. Any slower and it would have lost the serious racer. At this point, it's more about a dealer support and brand identity. Yamaha has made the 65 class a race again. For more versus stories like this one between the KTM 65 and the YZ65, check out an upcoming issue of Dirt Bike Magazine. And as always, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com for the latest off-road and motocross industry news. If you're not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, check out some of our latest uploads.